Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. Are you a people pleaser? Are you a giver? Are you codependent? That one was the hard one for me. I finally admitted my being codependent in 2020. I had no choice. Something had to change, and the only thing that I could change was me. So that's why I quit dating. The thing is I had boundaries, and I had a breaking point where I was done dealing with things. The problem was, and if you've watched my previous videos, I talk about other people being a mirror for ourselves. And so I know that if somebody would have bent their boundary for me, or somebody would have given me another chance, I would have felt very appreciative that I would have shown it. They would know that I appreciated it, and that I wouldn't be asking it constantly. I wouldn't be take. The problem is I assumed, because I was looking at them and it was actually the mirror of who I was, I assumed that they were going to be like I was. Totally wrong. And here's the thing. Anybody who does manipulation and control can peg you off a mile away. They can peg it off, and they're going to drain you as much as they possibly can. And the main reason that they want to drain you, it's not, if you watch a lot of different things, it talks about demons and everything else, but we're going to keep this simple and sweet. The reason that they want you around is because people know who they are. And if you are around them and everybody else thinks you're a nice person and a good person, then they must think that person is a good person because you're with them. What nobody can see is that we're all mirrors for each other. And when you learn to love yourself, find your true authentic self, and get on your walk with the man upstairs, energetically level up, you get clarity and discernment. And what that means is you don't look at other people and see yourself anymore. They're not a mirror for you anymore. You don't need anything mirrored back to you, because you have clarity. You know exactly who you are. You have discernment. You can see everything so clearly. The world looks so different when you learn to love yourself, find your true authentic self, and energetically level up. Get on your walk with the man upstairs. The discernment and the clarity are key. Your biggest thing is, if you are a people pleaser, a giver, or codependent, you need to have firm boundaries. And when you first start enforcing those boundaries, people are going to get angry. They're going to get mad. They're going to get mean and hateful and vindictive. Because you've not enforced your boundaries before. How the hell you dare enforce it now? We have every right to use you the way we want. How are you changing this up on us? That's why they're mad at you. I've seen it. I've seen it so much in this last almost 6 years, because I have set firm boundaries. When I originally started on this path, it literally was to find freedom and peace. I'm not like most people. I like change. I like change because it means that there's something new, something exciting. It means that anything's possible. So change was never something that was hard for me to do. But I craved it when I bought a house and stuff like that. I craved my need for freedom. So when I started on this journey in 2020, I decided that I was going to chase my freedom and peace. And that's how I got into DoorDash. I was working it part-time while I was applying for paralegal jobs. And lockdowns happened, and I started doing it full time because nobody was hiring at the time, and realized I could make a living off of it. And I don't have to clock in. I don't have anybody telling me where I'm going. I don't have to check in with anybody. And I'm like, I kind of like this freedom. Then once I got adjusted to the freedom, after that, I'm like, all right, that's it. Now I'm chasing my peace. And after everything I went through when my mother was passing away, I took care of her that last 3.5 months or whatever. All the drama that took place during that time, I can pretty much tell you that was when I said, all right, that's it. My peace is important. And that's exactly what I did. It was all about my peace. And then I found both freedom and peace. And once I fully got my peace and my freedom, ain't no way I'm going back to anything I used to be. And the reason being is life is so much nicer. I've met so many wonderful people over traveling in the RV and doing delivery, because when you do DoorDash, when I travel, I do DoorDash in different areas. And when you go into the same restaurants over and over again, people get to know you pretty quickly. And a big part of, I think, my problem with why I was codependent and I didn't have firm boundaries and I was an overgiver was, I think, literally because I never felt that I was seen for who I was. And being out doing delivery, I was seen for who I was. The interactions that I would have with people are small and limited amount. And when it's a crazy busy Friday or Saturday night and they're slammed, and you walk in and there's 2 other delivery drivers there and you can see on the look on their face that they're pissed. You walk in and ask for your order and they're like, oh, it's a 5-10 minute wait. And you're like, oh, okay, don't worry. And you go and sit down and you start a conversation with the grumpy ones. My first question is always, how long you been sitting here? Have you been doing pretty good tonight? And usually they'll tell me how long they've been sitting there. Some of them will say, well, not very long. I'm like, oh, well, that's good. Some will be like, longer than I want. And I'm like, but they're kind of slim, don't you think? Well, yeah, but what? Anyways, the point that I'm trying to get at is people see me for who I am. The people in the restaurants, they see me for my patience, for my calmness, for my smile and my laughter. And customers see me for my speediness and my politeness and my friendliness. So the reason that I have loved DoorDash has nothing to do with DoorDash itself. DoorDash is a pain in the ass. But it's the customers and the people in the restaurants. And I could never go back to anything that I used to be. I just couldn't. I was surrounded by people, and I had a few long-term relationships. But the truth was I never felt more alone than when I was with somebody. And I always thought that was odd. Why do I feel alone? I shouldn't feel this way. Oh, it was because I was not I was not holding my boundaries. I was allowing the boundaries to be trampled on. And once you start on your walk with the man upstairs, he gives you clarity and discernment. In the beginning, you don't know. You're like, am I really seeing this? Is this really going on? No, this can't be happening. And he keeps showing you more and more and more until eventually, and some people call it intuitiveness. Other people call it downloads from source or God or whatever. If you watch enough of this, I specifically tell you all the time that I talk to the man upstairs constantly. I thank him for every little thing. If I'm and I'm going to say it because today I had to shop a couple of times at Target. 5 days before Christmas. Is that insane? So the parking lot was full, and I'm like, I am not walking half a mile to this or to this Target. Not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. And so I turned down one row, and it was full. And when I turned down the next row, all of a sudden somebody pulled out, and I got a spot. And I looked up, and I'm like, thank you. I thank him for everything throughout the day. I thank him every day for giving me another day. And every night before I go to bed, I thank him for the life that I live. Because if you want to get technical, I'm living my dream. I've always wanted an RV and to be able to travel and do my own thing on my own terms. And that's exactly what I got. All of my dreams have come true because I've worked hard to make them come true. And now I'm working on the books, and they're getting a little slow at this point because I've been working a lot extra. We are caught up on everything, but there's not a bit of a cushion in my account yet that I want. So we're working a little extra hard for that. And it's funny because it's just funny because life is magnificent when you learn to love yourself and find your true authentic self. You really begin to see what reality is. I rarely watch television or even pay attention to the news or anything else like that because really it's all depressing. They don't report on anything that's good or healthy or wholesome. And then they wonder why our society is the way it is. Anyways, if you are somebody that struggles with being a people pleaser, an overgiver, or codependency, feel free to reach out. I'll help you get there. It's in the beginning. It's a lot of tough work. Everybody has the ability to change for the better. Here's the thing, though. Most people won't because it requires a lot of work and self-discipline. And people don't want to do that. That is why in the Bible, he tells you to take the narrow path. That's the narrow path. The narrow path is you reconnecting with God, your soul. You know, the whole, are we humans with a soul or are we a soul with a human body? Anyways, I'll leave you with that tonight. I will be back in a day or two, and we're going to talk about loyalty. Anyways, guys, hope you have a great night. Love ya. Bye.